That's a live look at the Thunderdome. We are about 25 minutes away from a big battle between the Eagles and the Norsemen. We had a long girls game, very good contest, but we will have two games, the second of the two games here forthwith, and just keep it right here on Orange Nation TV. Little added bonus here for Valhalla fans. We got Coach Jackson, Keith Jackson, head coach of the boys basketball program here tonight. So what do you think is going to happen here tonight against the Eagles? What do you got to do to bring home the win?
Well, I think we got to put together a really good 32 minutes of defense. Everybody's got to do their job. That's kind of where we're at right now. I think first time we played them, we kind of got off of what really makes us successful on defense, and so hopefully that is, and give them credit, they played a really great game against us the first time, but hopefully we can kind of rebound. Also, offensively in that game, we were not as efficient as we've been in our other games this year. We had our points per possession was like 0.7, and usually we're averaging 0.19.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, 0.119.
So I got to ask, your team's extremely fun to watch. The three-pointer is king with your team. So did that start in the summer? Say, hey, we're going to shoot threes. You shoot threes until I tell you to stop shooting threes, or did that just come around naturally?
Well, for the last, we've had in the last 6 years, about 6 years ago, we went to more of a spread offense. 4 out, 1 in, spreading the floor. Now we're more of a 5-out team now. But it was because of kind of our personnel. We didn't have like the 6'6" guys, 6'4" guys anymore. So we spread it. And we shot a lot of threes a couple years ago, probably about 5 years ago. And then last couple years we were a little more into the, we kind of a little more 50-50. But it just, it kind of worked into our personnel. We've got some guys who can shoot. We got some guys who can penetrate. And, we just kind of read the help. And if the help comes at us, we look to find the open guy. And they're really good about that ball doesn't get sticky on the perimeter. When we kick it, we'll make the extra pass to find a guy. And the thing I'm the most impressed with what we do and when we're successful is we rebound the ball. We're getting 4 offensive rebounds plus a quarter. That's kind of our goal. We got to, if we're going to shoot 12 threes in a quarter, we want to rebound at least close to half of those, if not, 35% of them. That's kind of like our formula.
Well, it's definitely a fun style to watch. And real quick, just ask you one more question. I know you got to get over with your team. What does Granite do well? What is the thing they want to do, and what do you have to stop?
Offensively, they spread the court pretty well. They got a couple guys that can shoot. Against us last time, they got to the rim really well, and that was kind of something we hadn't been. We didn't do a very good job keeping them out of the lane, and then they kind of turned it back on us. Defensively, they're very fundamental. They play man-to-man. They stay in the gaps really well there in the help. So we really got to make sure we attack and try to get that help, use that help against them. If they're going to help really quick on us on penetration, we got to find the open guy off it.
So can I ask you one more quick question?
Yeah.
League standings right now, and what does playoffs look like?
I'm just worried about tonight right now for this game.
All right.
I'm worried, we'll worry about that next week or next time we talk.
Okay.
But, right now we just got to win this one and win the next one. And, we kind of control our destiny, but it's up to us right now.
All right. Well, thanks, and good luck, Coach.
All right. Thanks.
That's Coach Jackson right there, head coach of the Valhalla High School basketball team, and he's got a really fun team to watch, and we'll see more of it. We'll take a break. We'll be back with tip-off in about 12 minutes here live from the Thunderdome. Hey folks, we're just minutes away from exciting basketball. We'll leave the mics up and allow you to look at the starting lineups, and then we'll get into action. Of course, this is Granite versus Valhalla Thunderdome. Completely packed gymnasium, really standing room only, and I'm very impressed with, to be honest with you, I'm super impressed with the Valhalla students. The Valhalla students have pretty much filled one entire side by themselves, and then they took a bunch of Granite seating. So if you're a late arriving Eagle,
good luck, John. The line was 30 yards long outside of the gym, not in the foyer.
Really?
Not in the foyer, outside of the gym. 30 yards long, almost to the parking lot.
Well, that's going to happen when you have rivalry basketball games. I always encourage people to get here early. So we're going to have the national anthem. We'll leave the mics on this time so that you can enjoy that. And once again, we'll leave those mics open during the national anthem so that people can enjoy the singing of the national anthem. Hopefully we'll get a shot of the person from one of our 3 cameras here in the Thunderdome. Once again, outstanding job there on the national anthem. We'll allow the PA announcer to announce the starting lineups. We'll be back with exciting action. Leave those mics open for you to enjoy those starting lineups. All right, so those are your starting lineups. We'll go over that here in a second. But packed house, I got to tell you right now, Eric, we're supposed to have started this game 30 minutes ago. There's still a crowd out to the parking lot. There's no more room in here. So if you were planning on coming to the game, I would just stay in the parking lot. It is a packed house. I'll tell you what, though, I don't feel bad for people that show up 30 minutes after a game was supposed to start and can't figure out why they can't get in.
You snooze, you lose in this
Yeah,
instance.
and it's equally Granite and Valhalla, so it's not, I'm not picking on anybody. All right, ready to get things going. We have Gaines. That is Jordan Gaines in white for Valhalla, ready to tip things off. And that was Caleb Erickson, rather, for Granite. So, look for a lot of threes tonight, a lot of activity. Had a good interview with Coach Jackson before the game. He really broke things down and had no time to shoot that three, wasted no time. Good, solid rebound underneath. Valhalla will get another shot here. And good drive here by Dominic and dish and lays it in. And the first points of the night go to Micah Campos.
And the key to getting off to a good start in a game like this is to being able to control your emotions and the excitement. The adrenaline's pumping like crazy with a big rivalry game like that.
And that is good. Granite Hills knocks down their three, and they have a lead with 7:15 to go opening quarter. What's good for Granite is that keeps this crowd quiet. I mean, it's literally 80% Valhalla fans, no doubt.
And it's
to be
going to be
honest
so
with you,
loud.
60% of that is just Valhalla students. So sorry to cut you off there, Eric.
It's okay. It's going to be so loud, they're not going to hear us half the time.
And a missed opportunity there, Avalos with the missed three. And they'll drive and draw the foul. On the drive was number 21 there for Granite Hills. That is McKay Roberts.
And McKay was very instrumental in the Granite Hills victory at Granite Hills a couple weeks ago. He totally had a great game offensively, defensively. He was one of the catalysts.
He knocks that free throw down. It is 4-2. Kicks it out. Granite retains possession. Big opportunity, and did not travel there evidently, and that is up and good. So that is Hunter Pike who puts that in for Granite Hills, and they're up to a 6-2 to lead here very early on opening quarter. Safarda for three. And Valhalla, you know, once again, they last time we saw them play against Elkhorn Valley, they could not miss. They missed more threes right there in succession than we've seen in a long time. We'll see if they can warm it up a little bit, but they are down 6-2.
And in their first game against Granite Hills, they weren't as efficient on the three-point shot as they've been in other games, and we're starting off in a bad way, missing our first three.
And the officials are motioning that they want the floor to be maybe wiped down again. Of course, we talked in the opening part of the game that they had a pep assembly in here today with some whipped cream that hit the floor. Interestingly enough, off the face of Dominic Safarda, who got hit with whipped cream. And evidently there still must be some stickiness or something with the court. I walked out there, maybe it's just because I'm so heavily grounded with gravity and weight, but it didn't seem all that bad to me, but they'll hit it again with bleach and clean it. And once again,
I say leave it. It seemed to help us on that possession.
It did a little bit. So 6-10 when we resume action, 6-2. But, you know, when you live and die by the three, it's very early. So the nice thing is, if you hit some threes, you're obviously right back.
And you get the crowd into it. That's been our key in our last two games here at home, is we've hit threes to start off. The crowd got into it, and we just overwhelmed poor old El Cajon.
Sure.
Not to mention El Cap the next time.
So we're at capacity. Roughly 800 people can fit in here, I think. And we're definitely at that. I am not a fire marshal, but it looks safe to me.
It's totally safe. If I left, 2 people could fit in for my size.
Dominic Safarda with the ball out there. Got great handles. We'll see if he can make some offense on his own. He'll kick it to Avalos. And they'll move it around to Gaines. Gaines off the top. Gaines trying to create a shot. Well defended there by the Eagles. They'll kick back to Safarda. Shot clock now under 10. Avalos for three, and that is off the mark. Rebound by Gaines, attempted anyway. Granite comes up with the ball, and they'll have another possession up by 4.
And Granite did a good job in the first game, not letting our three-point shooters get good looks, good open looks, and they're doing the same thing this game.
Tough rebound in there, but Valhalla comes up with it. Safarda in transition. He'll pull it back and allow things to set up. Try to draw the foul there. He's a smart player. Try to get a little bit of that contact, get a cheap one off the bat. Couldn't quite get it done. And he'll get a layup look, and once again, Granite, though, recovers and defends that.
And that happened in the first game. Dominic could not get open shots when he drove the basket.
Evan O'Neill, tough rebound for him. Gaines, turnaround, and that is in. Valhalla scores another. 4:53, they're down 2, 6-4.
That was smooth. You could just see him set him up on that. Plant his left foot, little pivot.
Granite Hills in the half set here. Shot clock down to 20. They'll run their offense, very patient. Three-pointer on the way, off the mark. Dominic Safarda in transition. Safarda is able to hold on to that one. Looked like a few tense moments might have dropped it, and they're going to get a carry. One of the few times you're ever going to see that, I would say after about the year 2010, probably a good call, but it just doesn't get called much.
And if it gets called tonight, Dominic could be limited.
He really could be. But that's just how the game's evolved. It's not a bad call. It just doesn't always get called.
And for Valhalla, one of the keys is going to be the Jordan Grimes, McKay Roberts matchup here on our right.
Granite going to work. They have a 2-point lead. Off the mark. Avalos with the rebound. Safarda got the Norseman running. O'Neill for 3. And tried to call glass. Good job to punch that out by Campos. Valhalla is able to retain possession. Coach Jackson wants some contact foul. Didn't call it, but they will call it down there. Dominic Safarda will be shooting 2 from the free throw line. Hey, now is a little break in the action and allow me to talk a little bit about my great frustration. I'm from the Midwest, and if you had a school in the Midwest with 2,200 kids, you would have a gym that would hold 6,000 to 10,000. We have a gym that holds 800.
And then again, this is the first time I've seen it packed.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, I taught and coached at a school in Iowa that was smaller than one of our graduating classes, and they had a gym that held 3,000. So they like basketball, I guess. Safarda's second free throw is good, and we're tied up, 6 apiece. 3:40 to go, opening quarter.
And not to disparage Iowa because my relatives are there, but in the January months, your choices for entertainment in Iowa are pretty limited.
But still, come on. Build it. Back in the 80s and whenever they built this gym, I don't know what they were thinking, quite frankly. Could have been a travel. They'll call a travel. So good call. I like that call. It'll be Valhalla's basketball.
Your 2 matchups that you're going to look at are going to be keys to this game. It's going to be Dominic versus John Yacko, number 1. And as I mentioned before, Grimes and McKay. Those are the 2 matchups that will dictate who wins this game. At Granite, those 2 got the better of ours. Hopefully we can get the better of theirs today.
So we're coming at you with 3 angles. We have a 3 camera vantage points. So you're going to get a good view. Dominic Safarda trying to set something up, trying to break down to this defender. He fakes him out of his shorts, and he lays it in. Now, I believe they called a travel there. I'll tell you what, it looked legit from here, but I'll tell you what, if they call that again on Safarda, that's going to limit his game a lot. Coach Jackson trying to plead his case. That's a turnover, not a bucket. It remains tied at 6. Evan O'Neill pulls down the rebound. I didn't get to see all of it because I was blocked.
Didn't see it. I don't know if he called another carry or if it actually was a travel.
They may have called it carry. Just watch the review on the delay. O'Neill for 3. O'Neill knocks it down. The first 3 of the night for the Norsemen, and they take the lead 9-6.
Evan struggled in the first game. It's good to see him score right off the bat this game. Give him a little more confidence.
Drive and no good. Good attempt there. That was John Yacko for Granite. Safarda with the no-look pass back to O'Neill. O'Neill thought about the 3, pulled up. 3 on the way, and in and out. No good for Trayvon Wims.
Evan just fumbled a little bit, and by that time the defender closed in on him.
9-6, 2 minutes to go, opening quarter. Granite jumped out to an early lead. Valhalla's come back. We have a slide there. We'll probably get a timeout and look at the court. And that was Yaku, I believe, that fell down there for Granite.
And he's one of the ones with the key matchup. As you see, he's trying to take it to Dominic and make Dominic play more defense than he's usually playing. Not that Dominic doesn't play defense, but if you make a guy play defense, it's harder for him to play offense and expend energy on both ends of the court. And as we talked about, John, in the girls' game, this is not your fault.
Hey, you know what? They'll continue to clean the floor. They have mopped it. They have run the machine over it. They've mopped it and bleached it again. I don't know if if you want to throw anyway. What are you going to do at this point?
Did you have industrial strength whipped cream out there?
I have no idea what occurred.
Miracle Whip next
exactly.
time. Miracle Whip.
But I do think that if anybody falls anywhere else on the court,
we might look at a stoppage.
Could.
That would be horrible.
Yeah.
For a crowd this big and a game this exciting.
It's one spot.
And right now, the Granite Hills coach, I think his name is Duffy, I'm not sure, so excuse me if I don't know. He's arguing his point that this is unfair for his team because it's on their side of the offensive end of the court. Coach Jackson's unimpressed with the argument.
So when we do resume action, it's 1:57.
They're asking
so they're going to open up the door,
doors,
and I'll go do
get
it.
some circulation in here. What they don't want to do is turn on the ceiling fans, which could have an effect on some basketball shots. As funny as that sounds, it does have an effect. For those of you who have ever played basketball down at the beach, into the wind.
Okay, so we're fully ventilated now, and we hope that will help. Dominic Safarda trying to put some moves on. He's had 2 turnovers called on him. Safarda with the lay-in, and it's good. So 11-6. 11-6 now.
And Dominic's so tough. Not only is he quick, but he's ambidextrous. He can go to the right, he can go to the left. You see him kind of double clutch left-handed. That is not an easy thing to do.
And I honestly think that was nowhere near there was any whipped cream at point today. So I don't know if Granite's just going to fall all the time or not, but that was anywhere near where it was. I'm telling you, man.
I'm afraid this could be a very disappointing event if they decide to stop it. It is unsafe for the kids.
Yeah.
So I would understand if they did stop it. Now, if I would have hit the lotto, we would have another gym under construction, so we could have 2 gyms.
Sure, absolutely.
It'd be named, of course, the Eric Thomas Gym.
I'll go out and clean that, Keith.
Right now, they're taking out the sticky tape that kids wipe their feet on before they get on the court, hoping that will help. And that is Scott Sturdivant, the JV basketball coach, head JV coach, one of my ex-players, an ex-student.
So during this break in the action, which we hope this will get limited, once again, another shout out to my family who are all crowded around the camera right now watching the computer at home, watching the game. Jack, Mitchell, and Cora, hopefully you're enjoying this game and getting ready for bed here in the next half hour.
I'm surprised that it still stays slick. Well, John, I don't know the cost of that sticky tape that they're using. Usually you use one per half. Right now, we've gone through about 5 basketball games worth of sticky tape, so I hope it's fairly cheap. And inadvertently, we're giving Dick's Sporting Goods a little bit of free advertising on that clipboard. Maybe we should ask for some sort of fee.
Good crowd shots there. Students waiting for this game to take action. Talked to a couple of the players and they came over and got some water, and they said it's not slick. So, but that's a Valhalla kid. So I don't know. At some point,
Yeah,
who
we'll
determines slippage?
what happens when they switch
Yeah.
ends, and we'll see if our kids slip also.
All right, so Cool Whip Gate continues here at Valhalla. And once again, if you joined us late, we had a pep assembly, a little bit of whipped cream got on the court, and it's been chaos ever since. So we're off the hook, Eric. This is not whipped cream related. It is the condensation on the walls, and they're saying that basically we're having Petco Park
conditions.
2.0. So whipped cream off the table.
Because
And
in these freezing cold San Diego winters where we're getting below 50 degrees.
Sure.
I don't know how the Midwest is ever, complaining when they're only at negative 40.
Well, thanks to you watching us here tonight. We'll get back on topic. It's been a crazy night here. We started about a half an hour late. There's been some concern over the conditions inside the gymnasium. We're now learning that it's non-whipped cream related. It's condensation related. Dominic Safarda knocking it down. Valhalla 14-6 over the Eagles with 43 seconds opening quarter.
And right now he's winning his individual battle.
And I'll tell you what, if Valhalla keeps hitting threes, they may have more floor arguments. Gaines, 3, no good.
That's not normally his shot. He likes to take it in, but the last 2 games, he's hit 5 threes, so why not?
22 seconds opening quarter. Once again, we thank you for joining us here on the broadcast. Whether you're an Eagle or a Norseman, we got a good game. Foul underneath, and the Eagles will be shooting 2. 16 seconds opening quarter.
Yeah, if Evan's got to step in front and take that. Every time McKay charges, he looks to create contact, ducking his shoulder into you. You've got to take a charge or 2.
And that first free throw is good. So 14-7 now, 16 seconds. And he hits them both. Nice job there for Granite Hills. Of course, that was number 21 there, McKay Roberts. One of those leaders for the Eagles.
Valhalla's going to run it down the last shot and let Dominic do his thing.
So we'll see if Safarda can create his own offense as he's done all year. Safarda will just pull up for 3. Little off the mark, 1 second, and that's the end of the quarter. 14-8, Valhalla enjoying a 6-point lead. We'll take a quick break and be right back. All right, we're back, and I got to say a big thanks to Trevor. I think that's Trevor Showers He told her we're getting mono audio, so hopefully we're in stereo now, Eric. I tell you what, our two beautiful voices are meant for 2 ears and not just one, so hopefully we're back in stereo. Second quarter, 14-8. We've had a couple stoppages due to court conditions, condensation. Whipped cream has now been taken off the list of guilty parties. I feel better.
It's totally taken the adrenaline out of the game.
It has. It's a weird game, you know. Full crowd, though. And a drive by McKay, and they'll say that it is a travel. McKay Roberts had something going, and of course I think he wanted a foul, but it was a good call there by the officials.
And again, you got to get in front of this kid and hold your ground. He's looking to run into somebody and get a foul.
Gaines, Campos off the top, back to Gaines. Underneath, he'll pull it back out. He didn't have anything there. Campos back to Safarda. Safarda on the big guy there, and he'll lay it in. Actually, in and out. Campos with the cleanup. Campos another putback, and that will fall 16-8 Valhalla.
And you see that Granite Hills has switched their defensive assignments. They put McKay on Dominic.
And Granite will move the ball around. Once again, very, very big home crowd here tonight. They'll drive, no slippage this time. Yaku knocks it down. John Yaku, very fast, number one for the Eagles. And Valhalla just with a 6-point lead with 6:50 to go, second quarter.
And he had a great game against us in that first one. He was very efficient. 3-point line, I want to say he hit 5 out of 6, maybe 4 out of 5. I wish I had the stats in front of me.
Back door, nice cut by Gaines. Knocks it down. I love that. That's just good thinking there. Good court vision by Safarda. Good decision by Gaines.
And Dominic just mesmerizes the defense with the way he moves.
And Granite pays it right back. They see that guy underneath the basket. Easy put in for number 32, Hunter Pike.
Valhalla got caught up amongst themselves.
Gaines trying to go baseline. He draws some contact. He'll be shooting a couple right now. Get some substitutions in. Back in for Valhalla is O'Neal, and in for what I believe is the first time Marcel Calascio here to give some breaks. Wims will have a seat as well as Avalos. And a couple new Eagles out there on the court as well. We'll catch their numbers and update you. It looks like Gabe Silva in for Granite, and we'll get another whistle here.
Dominic set a back screen, and they called him for an illegal screen. I'm surprised the defender even felt him. He's so small.
Tell you what, you want to talk about a packed gymnasium. We literally have kids standing in the open doors from the outside, you know, braving the cold to look in at just a glimpse when they could just pull up their phone and watch the game.
John, when I went outside in between the boys and girls game, or the girls and boys game, the line was 30 yards outside of the foyer.
There's just nothing you can do. Another hard drive, kick out to Yaku. Yaku's got to make decisions. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Granite fires one up, in and out. O'Neal with the rebound. Valhalla basketball. Big pass underneath the Gaines. Gaines, though, got trapped in the corner. They'll get it out to Marcel. Marcel lays it up. Marcel knocking it down. Marcel Calascio getting some important buckets off the bench.
Nice little runner in the lane. The way to gather himself.
And the crowd liking to tell people Marcel Calascio is just a freshman. But they leave McKay Roberts on the baseline. He'll get 2 points back for Granite, 20-14, 5:08. And big three. I'll tell you what, you cannot sleep on Safarda. You just can't. That's transition basketball for Valhalla. Yeah. Hey, you want to get set your defense? We just shot a three, and now it's 23-14. We get a timeout here with 5:03 to go.
And what's ironic is Granite's running the same offense that Valhalla used to run, this little flex offense, and they keep getting the back screen open where the guy is underneath the basket wide open. You would think after running it so many years that you would know how to defend it.
Yeah.
Instead, we've given up 2 easy buckets.
And I'll tell you what, Granite's running that well, and I tell you, I love just how these two teams match up. A lot of similar players, really, and just
and dominated. Both teams are dominated by 2 players with a couple
good role players
that make a big difference.
So Granite will come back out. trailing by 9, 5:03 second quarter. This game have got about a half an hour late start, and we could be here pretty late.
We'll see if Valhalla adjusts to the baseline screen that's picked them apart for 2 straight possessions.
McKay Roberts knocks that one down.
And he's starting to heat up.
6-point lead now for Valhalla. Safarda tries to drive, draws a lot of contact, can't get it to fall. Good rebound there by Yaku. And the Eagles in formation back to the other side of the court. Yaku putting on his own moves.
If they're going to call carry on Dominic, that one has to be called.
Sure, I agree. But what Yaku was able to do, he's able to draw a foul, and he's going to shoot 2 with his team down just 6.
And I think Coach Jackson's talking to the officials about that, because that was a very blatant one.
And that's the problem when you start calling that carry. Are you going to call them all?
You got to.
It's part of the game. As much as the purist in me doesn't like it, but it's honestly, and it's not new part of the game. It's a 15-year part of the game.
But it definitely gives the offensive player a huge advantage.
A huge advantage.
Because you're traveling, basically.
Sure.
And James Harden would only average 32 a game.
I agree. So 5-point lead now for Valhalla. They had a 9-point lead at one time, but Granite's chipping away. Yaku will get called with the carry. And that's salt in the wound if you're Coach Jackson. You were just arguing on this side of things that you wanted that call, and then they call it right on the backside. Anyway.
I would be a little more fired up right now. I'm already fired up, but I'm just watching the game.
I agree.
And I'm a homer.
I got one technical in my coaching career, and it's because I didn't fill out the book right. So I as fired up as I think I would have got, I probably wouldn't have. Good rebound by Gaines. Only one. Gaines with the hard one to 3. I'll tell you what, did they give him that with the, they called the travel. I'll tell you what.
It hit the wire on the top.
It did hit the wire, you're right. And I didn't know if they called the travel or the wire or something else, but Gaines, heck of an effort, unfortunately, not going to pay off for any points for him. So still a 5-point lead for Valhalla. Granite Hills playing tough as you would imagine. 3:50 to go, second quarter. Yaku. McKay Roberts on the drive, and you'll get the travel on that call. He's tried that a couple times, and they're not going to bail him out with a foul there.
If you pay close attention, once he gets in there, he extends that arm out with the elbow point going right into your chest.
Safardo, let's see if he can set up something here. On the far right extreme in the half-court set, he'll dribble it back up. Gaines to the far wing. Entry pass into Campos. O'Neal looking that baseline to Gaines. Unfortunately, Yaku read that play, and Granite Hills with another possession.
That's because they practice against it every day. They saw it, we didn't.
Gaines overcommits and allows McKay Roberts to drive. They'll kick it out, 3-point on the way, no good. Campos, nice strong rebound underneath. Now, Campos lost his glasses. He's got about half of a pair of glasses. They'll play through O'Neal in the corner, but unfortunately, it looks like Campos was able in the fly to be able to pick up his glasses. We've seen everything here tonight. Avalos for 3, that's short. O'Neal, quick rebound. Unfortunately, that's long. Missed opportunity on the bunny. Granite in transition. They go baseline, kick it out. Yaku for 3. Yaku up the front. Dominic Safarda picks up the loose change. He gets tapped from behind. They save the ball, and there'll be a foul from behind, and that will be the 3rd team foul on Granite. I'll tell you what, you stick in this gym a lot tonight, you're going to see a lot of things you don't see very often.
It's running a little ragged right now.
It is
Kids are
weird.
Up and down the court, but nothing's really happening well for either team.
Yeah, it's a moist evening in the gym. It's slick. We're losing glasses. We've seen about 4 carry calls when we haven't seen 4 in probably a decade in the Thunderdome. And Wims, wide open shot off the inbounds, off the glass, no good. And we'll get a foul on O'Neal as he reached over to try to pull that ball in. If we don't see a goaltending call tonight, I'll just be real disappointed. I haven't seen that probably in.
It's been a while. And if we see a Dominic Safari goaltending call, then I'm walking out. I'm
All
done.
right, well, I agree. So we get a timeout, 2:34, 5-point lead. Valhalla had led by 9, but Granite chipped back into that. And it's really both teams right now have had a cold stretch here.
Yeah, both teams are playing hard. We're not hitting the threes like we normally do. Granite is going almost exclusively to Roberts, who's driving in and trying to create something. He's only been mildly successful so far.
I want to send a shout out to Caleb Hauer, our director here tonight. He's running 3 cameras through a TriCaster. I'll tell you what, first year in the program, but man, he is an expert at his craft. Hopefully you're loving these angles. I don't know how many high school basketball games you watch online that are streamed with 3 cameras. That is the strength of this program. All students on those cameras running every aspect of this broadcast. So kudos to the Saga Network, Orange Nation TV. Been streaming for 6 years, and I'll tell you what, they do an incredible job. Very proud of these kids. Yaku on the drive. Man, I'll tell you what, great shot by him, and pretty acrobatic. 3-point lead now.
Well, Granite came out in a UCLA high post offense that time.
We'll get a foul, and that foul should be on, if I saw that right, Justice McComb. That'll be the 4th team foul on Granite. Tell you what, Valhalla needs to score this possession. They're off. They started cold, got a little hot, and they're back to being pretty cold.
I'm hoping it's not like the girls' game where they have all these good opportunities, they just can't finish it.
Avalos with the 3. He's got a long windup on that 3, and he just couldn't match it. And there's a slick side on that other side, and Gaines for 3.
But as you saw in the last 2 games, Avalos has started off hot. He's just a little off right now.
Yaku with the drive, and they're going to call a travel. Yaku does not agree with that, but might be a call, make-up call on some of those other things. I don't know.
Well, when you jump up in the air, you land on 1 foot, take another step, and elevate, that's got to be a travel.
You're going to see a little condensation on our lenses, too. O'Neal with the drive. I'm not sure having the doors open is really helping as much as the official thought it would, but once again, I'm not a weatherman. Shot from the corner, and that is short. O'Neal with the rebound out to Gaines, ahead to Wims. Wims will kick it back, and O'Neal keeps it alive to Safarda. Safarda for 3, and just like that, that's what the Norsemen do to you in this style of offense. They run you into the ground, and they'll kick that 3 out, and they just put that little dagger right in your coffin.
They get you into transition defense, and they're running into spots where they know where they're at. The defense doesn't.
I believe my cliche was nail in the coffin. That's a block shot. But a dagger in the coffin would be interesting. We're going to get a foul away from the ball, away from the action there. Actually, right in the action. That's Justice McComb. That will be the 5th team foul on Granite.
Now another bucket here, that'll be a huge stretch to come down in these last 2 minutes and really break that lead open from 2-3 points to almost double digits.
Thanks to all of you watching at home, Eagles fans, Norsemen fans, whoever you may be. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Campos with the left-handed lay-in, can't get it to fall. Eagles have another possession, 35 seconds before the half. We will leave those mics and cameras rolling at the half because Valhalla Dance Squad will be performing, and they're pretty awesome. And Yaku's pretty awesome too. Great lay-in by him, and they cut it to 7 with 23 seconds to go.
And that was a big change right there. 4-point swing, shot at the bucket, don't convert.
Coach Jackson calling for 1 shot here. They'll let a little more roll down, be under 10. 8. Yaku gets it to fall, 31-22, and that shot will be up off the glass, no good, and that is a 9-point lead for your Norsemen at the half. We'll leave the cameras live so that you can enjoy the dance routine that's coming here just in a short bit, and don't run away because we're going to have a fun second half. I have a good feeling about that. All right, I'll tell you what, our viewers probably don't care that my kids are still watching, but I have an 8, 6, and a 3-year-old that have been riveted to this broadcast. So Jack, Mitchell, and Cora, it's past your bedtime, but that's totally fine. You guys can watch the rest of the game. Unless Mom says no, then you got to go to bed. Hi, Lindsay. Hopefully you're doing well as well. So we are at second half. Coach Thomas here on Orange Nation TV. What's the keys to victory for either one of these squads?
Well, the two key matchups we talked about earlier, the McKay Gaines matchup and the Yako Dominic Safarta matchup, so far is being won by Valhalla.
Okay.
Dominic has 15, Jordan has 7, Yako has 7, and Roberts has 8. So that's almost the difference in the game.
Sure.
It's 22 to 15, 7-point difference, and Valhalla's up by 9.
Yeah.
So right now, those two for Valhalla are winning their individual matchups against the Granite Hills kids. In the Granite Hills game, it was the other way around. I'm thinking this second half, what we're going to see is Valhalla make a few more shots and extend this lead.
Well, I'd love to see that too. I know that once again, if you joined us late, it's been a fun game, no doubt. It's been a fun game, and that it's been up and down the court. There's a huge crowd here, literally capacity crowd. There's some concern that condensation from the cool air and hot air in here, that there's a little bit of slippage. Granite's argued that a few times. I haven't seen Valhalla slip anything, so maybe they had a shoe adjustment to their home court. I don't know. And once again, I'm too old and slow to have ever slipped by running, so I can't argue with what Granite may be arguing. But look at that student section. Can't argue with that. And that's just one element of the student section, because literally 80% of the crowd is students tonight. And I love that spirit. I'm the ASB advisor here, Orange Nation, all that stuff. And I'll tell you what, you want to see what makes the school special. It's those kids up there in the stands. Get excited.
But take the time out to come to this.
Absolutely.
And be part of it.
Yeah, so very proud of all the students that, took time to come out, like you said, and just this is what makes high school special, those memories. And we'll see how things finish out here. So we're about ready to get underway. 31-22, Valhalla with the edge. Both teams have played well. Both teams powered by very fast guard play. Tell you what, Yaku for Granite, first time I've seen him all year, obviously. I'm impressed with that kid. He's just fun to watch.
He hasn't shot the ball, the 3-ball, as well as he did when we were at Granite. But that happens. You play at a away place, you have to have a special night to shoot better.
I'll tell you what, just playing Granite in here is fun too. I don't obviously want to win the game. We're going to get a foul away.
Looks like another legal screen.
Yeah, but once again, I just want to talk just about the greatness of the rivalry between Granite and Valhalla. I've been here 15 years, and playing Granite and anything is just the most fun. And I've gotten to know some people from over at Granite, other teachers and good people over there, like the Eagles quite a bit. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a cool experience when both these teams are playing well.
And it's not one of those, it's bitter, don't get me wrong, but it's not one of those nasty
No,
ones.
it's not. Kids shake hands afterwards typically, and just hats off to Granite. Hats off to that attempt there by McKay Roberts. He couldn't get it to fall. Safarta for 3. Safarta gets his own rebound. He'll keep it. Dribble drive, try to get O'Neal underneath, and that'll be, they'll say off O'Neal's hand, even though it looked like Caleb Erickson, the Eagle, was the last to touch it. But and now we're getting a little conference talk here, and we may get a reversal of a call. I'll tell you what, this is a long way to talk about this, and it'll stay.
Oh, no,
actually, they'll flip it
reversed
over to Valhalla's ball. Hey, hats off to the officials. Talked it over, made the right call. Good for them. They're working in tandem. That's what you expect.
That's very difficult for an official to swallow his pride and admit that he was
I'll tell you what, yeah. Nice inbound to O'Neal. Valhalla makes him pay. 33-22. 11-point lead now for the Norsemen.
Wild shot.
This is where it can get, Valhalla can get that running game going. They'll pull it back and set up something here. Safarta, though, with the drive off the mark, and we'll be going back the other way.
And both teams have switched up their defensive assignments.
And that ball got tipped.
You got Joe guarding Yako, whereas Dominic had him in the first half. And Gabe Silva is now guarding Jordan for them.
Inbound for the Eagles, 26 on the shot clock, 6:45 third quarter. They'll work the ball around the top. Yaku now on the left wing. Facing Avalos. Avalos now Gaines defending McKay. Yaku for three. Yaku off the mark. Gaines with the rebound. Good tip and staying with it for Granite, but Valhalla with O'Neal on three. Avalos with the rebound keeps it Norseman possession. Safarda will settle for two. The reach in, it'll be just tapped out, no foul. They'll stay with Valhalla.
Man, he's shifty.
He is.
Man, he's shifty.
Yeah.
You see the head fakes, you see the shoulder fakes. He's got everything to keep you off balance and to make you miss.
Dominic Safarda set the offense from over there. He'll set up a long-range three. Dominic Safarda knocks it down from somewhere in Hamul. That one was far out, and that's a big three, and that's going to cause Granite to call timeout.
I think that was from my driveway.
It was far away, man. I'll tell you what.
He's got range, though.
He does. I think he shoots better from further out for some reason. Maybe just has a little bit more vision of the hoop. But
you know, I think the worst thing for him is to be a catch-and-shoot shooter. You know, he's not a Paxton. He's not a J.J. Redick. He's a guy that has to have the ball in his hands to get his rhythm into his shot.
I also wonder, too, and I've never sat down and chatted with him for any extended period of time, but a lot of his shooting, I'm guessing he's probably never been the tallest kid on the court, and he had to create his own offense.
Not unless he goes and plays at the junior high.
Sure, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he probably, his whole game has been developed based on his love of basketball and having to make use of the skills he has, which is quickness, and obviously he's got a great shooting technique.
He's got to create space. And you notice his shots are not low. He's launching them up in the air, and that's because he's had to his whole life to get it over the taller defender.
6 minutes to go, third quarter, 36-22, Valhalla on top of Granite. Gaines got a hand on that, stays in the possession of Yaku. In and out shot, there's a battle underneath. Good rebound there by Granite. That was Caleb Erickson who couldn't get it in, but good rebound and work down there. Gaines for three, Gaines knocks it down. Valhalla starting to heat up, 39-22 now. Granite in desperate need of a bucket on this possession. They got to get something.
But they can't panic. They just need to run their stuff. Very easy to say, not easy to do.
17-point lead. Norseman fans, strangely quiet, to be honest with you. And that's a turnover for Granite. And hey, hats off to the officials tonight. They've called a lot of travels, a lot of carries, but it's been pretty consistent.
That's true. And that was the defense you have to play that Evan did. You have to stand there, let him run into you. He bounced off. They called the travel.
So I think the officials, considering all the stoppage of play and things, have done a very nice job. Hats off to them. 5:08 now, third quarter. O'Neal, long-range three. O'Neal knocks it down. So 42-22, 20-point lead.
And the barrage is starting. You've got to get a bucket to stop it.
Valhalla started so cold at the beginning of this game, and they look very much like the team that they have been most of the year right now. Yaku trying to get one back, and he does. So good answer for the Eagles. Lead down to 17.
They needed that.
Gaines will answer right back, and he gets it. So point taken right back by Valhalla. They give nothing to the Eagles, and we'll get a timeout by Granite.
Jordan was feeling it. He was begging for that ball. Give it, give it. Dominic, that's what makes him so good is he's not selfish. He saw that he had a man with a hot hand, gave him the ball. I love that kid.
I absolutely agree with that. Hey, at least the court condition is not any part of the equation.
Because when you shoot threes, you don't get into the center of the court where that's a problem.
Yeah, but evidently only condensation in the lane tonight.
Stay outside.
Yeah.
Shoot the three. You know, I got to be honest. After watching Granite beat us by 15, 17 points in the first game, I was a little surprised that they were not in second place in league.
Yeah.
I thought for sure they would be. But I think they're in third place. I can't find my paper now. You probably stole it. Oh, yeah. See, thank you, John. Here it is right here. Valhalla's at 6-1. Santana's at 5-2.
Sure.
This victory here will go a long way because I think we play Santana next week.
We do on Tuesday. Final home game, regular game in the Thunderdome. And good putback there. Cleaning up the mess there is John Ursick. Now, we may have to live stream that game Tuesday if we can, Eric, just because if Valhalla can hold on tonight, they could clinch a league title. Gaines knocking that one down. I asked Coach Jackson about league and playoffs, and he wouldn't even answer, would not even give me a hint of his thoughts on anything. So
because he was too focused on this one.
He was, but come on,
You've got to
give me a
get some
bone.
revenge after that loss.
McKay Roberts with the drive, and he draws the foul. He'll be going to the free throw line. So, Granite, you know, they can score. They can do a lot of good things. If you're a Norseman fan, you got to feel good about the lead, but do not count out these Eagles. As you mentioned, they beat Valhalla the first time handily.
You can't let up. You can't let up. And on that possession, he had a wide open drive to the lane. No one stepped over.
McKay Roberts, rebound by O'Neal.
Once again, Evan with the great defensive play to stand straight.
Safarda knocks another one down, 50 to 29, 3:40 to go. Yaku,
Trying to answer and just forcing it up.
Gaines for three.
We got to fix that net. That's probably the only reason why we missed it.
Yeah. So Granite worked a little bit of their offense here, very patient. Got a guy running baseline, they'll stick with the three, and Gaines pulls down the rebound.
And you look, every kid that comes down the court runs right to a three-point spot. The lane has been open.
Puts their hands up. My grandma's watching. I want a 3-2.
The lane has been open since yesterday.
Corner to O'Neal. O'Neal. Campos tries to get a rebound underneath. 2:40 to go. Third quarter, 50 to 29. Valhalla on top. Yaku resets the offense, calls for the screen. They'll split on the screen there, or switch rather. I'm struggling a little bit. And McKay Robertson will draw the foul, and he'll shoot two.
Oh, Micah just didn't quite get there. He needed one more step over to his right.
So 2:18 to go, third quarter. 21-point lead.
Granite trying to survive this barrage that Valhalla has poured in on him. 5 threes this quarter alone.
Free throw is good. Cuts it to a 20-point lead. Hey, shout out to Ramon Scott from East County Sports. He commented a few times on this video. Ramon Scott always does a great job writing up and covering sports here in the East County for eastcountysports.com. Hopefully you're still watching, listening, wherever you're at, Ramon. And that's another one, and that lead now cut further. 2:15 to go. Did we get a little off on the score? They say it's a 20-point lead. I thought it was a 19. We must have got off track on that scoreboard a little bit. It does whims and goes to battle. Campos pulls it up, and they'll pull it back out. 1:58 to go, third quarter. 20-point lead, Valhalla on top. Safarda through the legs, trying to get something off Yaku. Hard matchup there. He's able to kick it to Wims. Wims will put it up for three. Rebound by Granite. They get the ball ahead, they'll draw the foul, they'll be shooting two.
Yeah, there's a little lack of hustle to get back on the transition defense.
This is Justice McComb, who will be shooting for Granite from the free throw line. You know, another Eagle to say some nice things about. McKay Roberts just keeps battling, number 21 tonight.
He's a tough kid.
He is. I like his style of play too. It's just a real blue-collar guy and fun to watch.
You know, this is a big minute and 40.
Yeah.
If you can maintain or extend the lead, that fourth quarter is going to be much easier than if you let them cut it down to 14, 13.
McComb gets the second one, lead now 19. 1:38 to go.
You can't be lackadaisical this last minute and a half.
They had a nice backdoor cutter to Gaines, and they get two to go. 52-31, 125. Norseman on top.
Gaines with 10 points this quarter.
And they'll fire it up. Nice job. We say some nice things about Roberts, and McKay puts that one down, 52-34, 1:14 to go.
I'm going to say some mean things about him then.
Dominic Safarda can't get that one, and Yaku will pick up the missing or loose pieces there, and he'll fire it back down, and he'll try to lay one in. He'll draw the foul. Wims fouls him, and Yaku will shoot two.
You know, we're at 18. Just takes a couple more possessions. They can get it under 15, and then gets a little nervous time.
Yaku puts it down. I'll tell you what, it's so weird to look around. We have three different, maybe four student sections, and three of them are Valhalla students.
That's awesome.
And don't look now. Don't look now. They cut it again, 52-36, under a minute to go. Granite, though, doing what, if you're an Eagles fan, you wanted to see. Cut that lead as much as you can right before the quarter. We'll see if Valhalla has any answer, though. O'Neal for three. Wims goes up tall, gets that, keeps it in play. Safarda able to hold on to it. 40 seconds now to go, third quarter. Safarda for three, and he'll knock it down. 55-36.
Rally killer right there.
It really is.
Guy's got ice in his veins.
Yaku for three.
Yaku just doesn't have it as far as his three-point shooting. He's still playing well. He just has not shot like he has in the past.
Valiant effort by McComb down there, but Valhalla will have hopefully the last shot, I would think, with 12 seconds, 10 seconds now. Fourth quarter, Safarda trying to set something up. He'll kick it to Wims. Wims will try to drive. He'll kick it to the corner. O'Neal for three. And I'll tell you what, as much as Granite did well, Valhalla did better. Scoring six unanswered in the last 40 seconds. It's a 21-point lead at the quarter break.
You couldn't ask for anything, a better finish to the last minute.
Sure. So we'll take a quick break. We've got to catch our breath. I got to drink some water so I'm not coughing. 21-point lead going into the fourth quarter. We're back for fourth quarter action here.
John, 7 threes by Valhalla in that quarter.
Yeah.
A barrage. The dam broke.
Absolutely. And, you know, like we said, a lot of our viewers have probably watched all four quarters, and they don't need any review. But Valhalla was a little cold at the start, but they're pretty hot right now. 58-37. Yaku. Drive, and he puts it down. Continuing to wow is Yaku. 58-39. Behind the back, Safarda trying to put a move, but Yaku played good defense there. Didn't give him the drive. Kick to O'Neal. O'Neal's been hot. O'Neal off the mark. It's an air ball. We'll see what Granite can do here.
And, you know, being an old school coach, I'm like, let's not fall in love with the three in the fourth quarter. And then I think to myself, why not?
But if you're Granite, you got to feel pleased. You've held Valhalla to only 58 points, but unfortunately your own offensive production hasn't been as strong as you want. And we'll drive and fall, and that's a foul.
He called him on the block.
So McComb will shoot free throws here for the Eagles. McComb knocks it down, 58-40, 18-point lead for Valhalla, 7-12 fourth quarter.
Valhalla just needs to stave off any sort of Granite Hills run, keep the lead comfortably 15 points and up, and they'll be fine.
Rebound pulled down by Wims.
Right now is when you wish you had a running clock as a coach, because you just don't want to see him cut that lead into 10 and get those nervous moments going.
And that will be a forced turnover. Good job for Granite. And I wanted to point out, too, you know, I don't have great memory, but McKay Roberts, that was one of the few times we've seen him defending on Sepharda tonight and did force him into a turnover. Yaku's got 99% of that call tonight, and Roberts did a good job.
And they've done a good job of switching guys off so that one person's not taking the brunt of dealing with Dominic.
Unfortunately for Granite, they'll turn the ball right back over, and it'll be Valhalla's ball with 6:39 to go in the fourth.
And a lot of Valhalla kids are doing a better job of stepping in the driving lanes and standing still.
Once again, we're live here in the Thunderdome. John Owens, Eric Thomas, student production, Caleb Howard directing, and we're going to get a whistle. It'll be something. And they have to fix the net. Is that what they had to do again?
It's probably, I'm surprised it's still there. It should be burned up by now.
We've seen a lot of different things tonight, and really out of a lot of people's control, but just interesting situations that happen from time to time. Dominic Sepharda on the drive. He'll kick to Wims, who's running to the basket, will draw the foul. That'll be John Ersick, who will pick up the foul for the Eagles. 6:19 to go, fourth quarter.
And you're right, McKay has taken on the task of having to guard Dominic. And as you can see, if Dominic does get around him, McKay's going for that reach around steal. Maybe tap it loose.
Get some substitutions. Back in is Avalos, and for the Eagles will be Caleb Erickson. Both teams not going super deep into their bench tonight, but getting some different players in from time to time. And he'll make that one. So back to a 20-point lead, 6:19. We'll get a timeout. 3 timeouts remain for the Norsemen, 2 for the visiting Eagles.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be one of those games where you have to save your timeouts till the end.
No, I don't think so at all. Now, if you're Granite, we'll see if they extend and try to do something a little different, you know, in the full court on defense. But if they're trying more threes offensively, they're going to need a little run here, obviously, a big run.
They got to get some stops. And when you got a player like Dominic, I can't think of a trap that's going to work. You better have 2 guards that are similar in speed and quickness.
And I don't know you can really deny him either. So you're kind of hope he does.
Stuck.
He does.
You're kind of hoping that he has a bad game and throws the ball away.
And that's why guard play is important, correct?
Correct. Senior guard play.
Exactly. Robertson pulls up. Roberts tried to get that 3 in, couldn't do it. It'll be Norseman basketball.
That's an Eric Thomas move. Just dribble up and chuck it.
Sepharda brings it down the side, indoor, backdoor, cut.
That was a great catch by Jordan. He almost bent himself over backwards and then gathered enough to get up and shoot it. That was very athletic.
And we talked about the gym and not being the biggest gym in terms of capacity, but you know, I wasn't here in the 90s, the Thunderdome years and all that stuff, but tonight, you know, it can get loud in here, and it's a nice home court advantage, especially if you start talking about the playoffs. Valhalla gets 3 home games to keep winning. It could be a huge advantage for them.
That'd be huge. They could be playing at home until they have to go to the finals.
3 on the way, no good, Sparta.
And now Granite Hills, each kid is trying to individually bring them back instead of working together as a team. That's not a normal shot I would expect from Pike right there to chuck one up 10 seconds into the shot clock.
Sepharda to Campos. Campos knocks down the open jumper, 63-40 now, 23-point lead for Valhalla. Roberts trying to get his own offense going. Yaku for 3. Yaku off 1 foot, and it's an air ball. He's got to be tired. He's played a heck of a game, though. No shame in what he's done tonight. Enjoyed watching John Yaku play for Granite. Sepharda looking to drive, trying to get some contact, too. Wims Sepharda in the corner.
It's been a tough three-point shooting night for John.
Shot clock to 13. Yaku kicks it corner. Avalos for three. No good. Wims tried to climb up the back, made no contact. Good job for him. Roberts with the rebound up to Yaku. We'll get a foul. And these are kind of the fouls that got to drive Coach Jackson nuts, because now you're going to be shooting 1-on-1. That's the seventh team foul.
Yeah, I won't say that the disparity is obvious, but it is
7-2. Yeah.
Although it doesn't seem like it's been 7-2.
Well, I'll explain away some of that. Valhalla shooting a lot of outside shots, not necessarily getting a ton of, I mean, they're driving and kicking out, but maybe not drawing contact. I don't know. I'm just trying to make an argument.
No, you're correct.
Yaku gets the first free throw, 63-41, 4:40 to go, fourth quarter. Valhalla and their rival, Granite Hills.
I don't care where I'm at. When my team has more fouls than the other team at any stage in the game, I think the referee's bad.
Oh, I agree. 21-point advantage now after Yaku drops both those free throws. Through the trees, Sepharda goes, can't get it knocked down. Tell you what,
Eric, one heck of a move. Little stutter stop move. I just marvel at that kid.
Yaku on the drive, very athletic, acrobatic move for John Yaku, and that lead down to 63-44, 19-point lead now for Valhalla.
You know, as long as Valhalla takes about half the shot clock off, they should be fine.
Working some more clock here. Gaines off balance, throws up, draws a foul. He'll be shooting two.
I think now that McKay is on Dominic, they can exploit the matchup with Jordan and Justice. Not that Justice is a bad defender.
Sure.
I don't think he's as good as McKay. McKay's been guarding Jordan pretty much the whole time. Justice has done a nice job on him, but we haven't featured Jordan against Justice. I'd like to see us go to that.
Gaines misses the first one. 3:52 to go, fourth quarter, 63-44. Cold start for Valhalla very early, but they've been hot all the rest of the way. Gaines knocks that one down. 64-44, 3:50 now to play.
They had a blazing third quarter, which gave them this big lead.
Off balance, Roberts can't get it to fall. Valhalla with the ball. We'll run some more clock here. Eric, my favorite Granite Valhalla story is just hearing about how Valhalla started and the campus wasn't open and they had to go to school at Granite half the day. I mean, what a great way to start a rivalry where literally the school has to be there.
That is a fact that I did not know.
Yeah, it's a fun story. I've heard it from a lot of the first-year Valhalla students talking about, and that's a turnover, just miscommunication there. But just that old history between the two schools.
I mean, I remember when I got into my room that was supposed to be a temporary room. 29 years later,
there you go.
Still my room.
3:25 to go. Granite with the ball down 20. Yaku.
And right now, the Granite offense is two players.
Contested shot drop by Roberts. 64-46, 3:08 to go.
It's Yako and Roberts one-on-one. I think we could almost double team them.
Sure.
And force the other guys to shoot.
As you might imagine, pretty conservative game plan here by Valhalla. Running some clock, 2:50, and then forced turnover. Granite not dead. Granite playing hard. I'll tell you what, well coached as always. They are always well coached, but literally not quitting at any level. And they knocked this three down. You got an interesting game. Almost went down. Good rebound by McComb underneath. Unfortunately for the Eagles, can't get it to fall, and here comes Valhalla. Push and a turnover. So if you're Valhalla, you don't necessarily like this. You're running clock, but
we are running clock. We're still holding on to an 18-point lead. It's gotten a little sloppy, couple unforced turnovers, but we've weathered the storm so far.
64-46, 2:28 to go. Thanks again to all of you that have stayed watching from wire to wire. This game will stay up. You can share it with your mom or grandma, anybody else if you want to watch it again. Maybe with the audio down so you don't have to listen to us, but we do appreciate you watching.
And again, this is infuriating if you're the defensive team losing.
Sepharda putting on some moves behind the back, and he'll drive, kick to O'Neal underneath, and that's a bucket for Valhalla. 66-46. We're under 2 minutes to go.
And McCabe got away with pretty much a swing at Dominic.
Yaku for three. Yaku knocks it down. Long range three for
Finally.
him. He's had a cold shooting night from the three-point arc, but finally finds the net there. 66-49, 1:37 to go.
17-point lead. This is why I tell my kids, we don't really need to shoot.
Avalos for three.
That doesn't stop us from shooting.
No.
Because really, if you're Valhalla, you don't need to score again. What you need to do is rebound, bring the ball down, run the clock down.
1:15 to go. Working more clock. Granite, I think, is going to let them work clock. A little less fight in them just because of the reality of the game. 66-49, 105. They'll end up splitting on the year. And Sepharda draws the foul, helped up by an Eagle. Good sportsmanship there. Hunter Pike went right over there and helped him up. And I'll tell you what.
Like you said, it's a rivalry, but it's not a nasty rivalry.
I love it. Students, of course, maybe not as sportsmanlike as the players.
Got to fit in. We're going to have to keep some people separated when this game ends.
I agree. Sepharda for free throw. My brain's not quite working. Maybe it never does, but he does knock it down. We get some substitutions in for the Eagles. We got Eric Hogan, number 20 for Granite Hills. 1:01 to go, 67-49. Sepharda knocks that one down, 68-49.
This has been a great second and third quarter performance by Valhalla.
No call there. Granite maintains possession. Yaku warming up.
That's how he shot at the Granite Hills game.
I'll tell you what, fun player.
And when you make 3 or 4 of those, you're a tough man to guard because you can't leave him.
So 35 seconds and a drive and more points for Dominic Sepharda, the heart and soul of this Norseman team. 70-52, 25 seconds to go. Could very well be one of the last possessions. Granite drives. It will draw a foul. Roberts will go to the free throw line.
And this is Valhalla basketball. Dominating performances by the 2 top players. Great performances by Micah and Evan. We didn't see Joe.
Sure.
Joe, who scored 3 to 5 3-pointers the last 2 games, didn't really have his type of game, and still Valhalla's winning by 15, 20 points.
So 18 seconds now, 70-54. Make some substitutions. Wims and Sepharda are out of the game. We're going to stop in the action, make some more substitutions, and that will be actually no stoppage. They just literally stopped playing. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Another win for Coach Jackson, another win for this 3-point shooting Norseman team. Eric, any closing thoughts before we wrap it up?
Look out playoffs.
Yeah.
Look out playoffs. Valhalla's got to be one of the top seeds in Division III, if not the top seed.
Really fun to watch. So proud to be part of the Orange Nation and being able to broadcast these games. Thank you so much for all of you watching at home. 70-54, that is your final. We'll see you maybe on Tuesday, and if they let us live stream the playoffs, a little bit of broadcasting rights we have to now navigate. And we may just navigate them anyway. We'll find out. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks to all the students who made this broadcast. Thank you to all the students in Orange Nation TV Saga Network. And Caleb Hauer did a fabulous job directing tonight. Have a fun, safe evening wherever you're at. We'll see you on the next broadcast on Orange Nation TV.